Alright everybody, we are back at pattern-collections.com to find today's pattern, which is Trops, T-R-O-P-S. Mimi has done a video on that, so scroll on down and grab Mimi's video so you can watch how she does it. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know if I'm going to do it similarly or completely different. Here is the sample of artwork where it's entwined in other things, which is really cool. I think for right now I'm just going to draw it simply and then see what strikes my fancy. And yeah, so we're just going to make sure I'm on the zoomed in here. So step number one is we're going to do a set of parallel lines, however long you want it to be. Step number two, we're going to do a pair of horizontal lines going under that set of parallel lines, like that. Two on this side, two on this side, so it looks like it goes underneath, like a weaving. Step number three, we're going to make that circle going around. We're going to touch the tops and the bottoms of the vertical line, but the horizontal line is going to go past. So when you make your vertical lines, make them a little shorter than you make this horizontal. We're going to go like this, like that, and like this. Okay? And then you can finish your vertical lines there. So now it looks like this ring goes over, under, and then at this end they've got us putting this sort of arrow-like shape. You can put whatever shape you want at the end of this thing. Doesn't have to be an arrow, but I'm just going to play with it and see what happens when I do it exactly the same, or maybe I'll play with a couple of them and see what kind of variations we can come up with. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to set it over here so I can see. I've rearranged my desk just slightly. Got a new bit of a camera setup, so I'm not 100% sure if you're going to be able to see everything as clear as you did before. If something is really bad and you can't see something, please let me know and I will work on fiddling with my setup here just a little. What color do I want to use today? And what size? I don't know. I'm just going to close my eyes and reach into the box, and what I get is what I get. Here. Apparently I got sort of a blue color which blends into my background, but that's okay. I am going to make myself just a slight border. Not that I'm going to use it, but I like to not get too close to my edges. So that helps remind me that I'm getting too close to an edge when I have a border like that. Oh, yeah, I have to do something here. Hang on a second. I gotta play with my light because it's not at the right angle. It needs to come down a little. There we go. Let's try that. It's making a funny glare, but now I can't see my camera. I'm going to have to play with some settings here and see what I can come up with so that I can still, because I moved things around. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay, yeah, what do I want to do? I'm going to plan out sort of a decision as to if I want to have more than one of these things, and I think I do. And so let's do three. Let's do a large one here, and let's do one here and one kind of here, and let's make sure that that one's big enough that it's going to overlap at least one of those, maybe two. That looks good. Okay, so step number one is to find your pen. that's step number one. Find the pen that you're going to use. I'm going to start with my parallel lines. I'm going to do that size. And then over here, I'm going to do this size. Like that. Okay, we can give that a try. So now I want my arch. Can you guys see? I feel like my angle isn't quite right yet. I'm trying to eyeball where my tripod used to be and the angle that was with the camera and what the angle it is now. I'm not sure I'm quite got it right yet. I'm going to play with it on the next one and see what comes out, and if it comes out a little better. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, and then like so, and like so, and then coming out from here straight across like that. And then we're going to put our embellishment on the ends here. I'm going to go ahead and do that arrow shape, but I'm going to maybe get more shapely with it and go really tall on one side, maybe like that. Why not? Go way skinny and way out. I don't know. It's just what happened. So if you guys hear any noises, my husband's out there working away, trying to get the side of the house cleaned up for painters are coming next week to paint the house. Yay! So excited about that. And then at the end of the month we have graduation party for one of our friends who graduated from nursing with a master's in a specialty. So I'm excited for her. I'm going to do one here, but I'm going to do it slightly different. I'm going to see what happens. What happens? Let's ask ourselves. This is how we do CPT, creative pattern tangling, and you ask yourself, what happens? What happens if my straight lines, my cross lines, are more of a curve? Let's just see what happens. And how does that change the look of the pattern? Like so. And what if this is smaller here and gets bigger there? Like that too. More oval shape. And then coming out of here, it would come out over here. Coming out of here, it would come out over here. Keep following that line, and it would come out over here. And this would come out over here. And then at the end of these, let's put a shape like that. That looks like a good shape. Comes out. This one's going to be kind of interesting because it mostly goes behind. But let's see. If I was to draw it, sometimes I draw this if things are going behind and I'm not too sure what I'm looking for. I draw that shape in pencil so I know what parts of it I may or may not see behind that other shape. So it looks like I see a little bit here, and it looks like I might see a little bit here, like that. And then I can erase that. I tried to put my new brace on my table, realized that anytime I wiggled my table, my whole camera wiggled. That would have made you guys all seasick. So, I would see a little bit right there too. Maybe right there. Okay. Yeah, so I had to do something else, and so I just clamped it to my old tripod. But now it's got an arm so it can stick out a little further over my desk, and I don't have to stand crammed in the corner of my desk. I can stand in the middle of my desk where I have a little bit more room and I'm more comfortable. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully you guys can still see. It's really hard for me to see what you can see while I'm drawing, because as soon as I stop drawing and look up, it looks different to me than while I'm being drawing. Yeah, there we go. So that looks different. Let's try another what if. What if our middle cross ones go the other way? They can be curved still, but let's have them go skinny or fat to skinny. A little bit wider in the middle. Like that. Like that. And then this would come up to there and around to there. Make sure they touch there. And then let's have this really a skinny one. Super skinny. Like that. Like this. And then at the top here, let's have it become more of a leaf-like shape, like that. Now, why do I say to myself, what if, or let's experiment? Is because this is what makes it fun. You know, you can absolutely 100% copy a pattern straightforward and just copy it. You can. But, you know, the fun part of pattern tangling is once you've got the pattern down, you can then adjust it and modify it and make it your own and do different things with it. Yeah, I mean, that's just the fun part to me, is figuring out what in the world you want to do with it to make it look different. Because, you know, I don't want my art to look like everyone else's. Now, if you're drawing along with me and you want to make yours look just the way I drew mine, that's fine, you can. But then I encourage you to then draw it again and say, you know, Dawn did it this way, but how can I do it different to make it my own? That's what I'm encouraging you to do. Ina's back in the group. If you're part of Pattern Dash Collections on Facebook, you'll know that Ina was away for a little while, and now she's back, and now she's really jumping in full force. And especially since Nicole is on holiday, and yeah, the group has really gotten a new energy again, because Ina brings to the table a creativity and a thought process. Not that Nicole doesn't, because absolutely Nicole is very creative, but somehow Ina just sparks an enthusiasm that that's contagious within the group. So anyway, now you can just embellish, you can color, you can add more patterns to the background, you can do all sorts of things. I think I want to do sort of a background, just an amorphous shape, because all of these are so linear that I think even though this one's a little more organic, they're all still pretty linear with that kind of cross shape. I think for the background, I want some sort of blob. I want to call it a blob. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go like that, and make that my background. And then when I color or color in, I will emphasize the differences between those. I think in here I actually just want to I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Maybe I'll add some colored pencil. For right now, I'm going to do the graphite, and I'm going to do it on the spots where we overlap. Where one thing overlaps another. It's always a good spot to start if you don't know where to start with shading. Always a good place where one figure overlaps another is a good place to start. That one's on top of there, this one's on top of there, that's on top of there, this is on top of here, this goes like so, this goes like so, that goes over like that, and then again over here, that's overlapping here just a bit, there's an overlap here. I'm not too sure what my husband's building out there right now. Interesting noises. Sounds like his power screwdriver, but I don't know what he's screwing together. Thought he was going to saw today. He's cleaning up the side of the house, and I thought he was going to break down the old pallets that were by the side of the house and get them ready for disposal. We'll see. Okay, so let's do a little blending. Why is that wiggling? What's it touching? My lamp must be touching the table a little bit. I do want it to touch the table. There we go. That's better. Maybe I can move the table just a smidge. Just a quarter of an inch makes a huge difference as to whether or not something's rubbing. I don't want it to rub. It was making an annoying noise. feeling better. My manager had put me on this bouncing around schedule where sometimes I was opening and sometimes I was closing, and it was really throwing my body clock completely out the window. And the last couple of weeks when I had a day off, I really didn't feel like drawing. I did one day, but then the other day I just didn't do anything. I just vegged on the sofa all day, and it was just bad. And I know that it just does a number to my physical body, but it also does a number to my mental health. I just have a hard time, and I know that it's just because I'm not getting proper rest, and I'm not staying consistent with a schedule for my body. And you know, I told her, I says, I can't do this for much longer. You're gonna have to pick. It's okay. I'm not scheduled or committed to any particular, you know, you can put me on evenings, you can put me on mornings, whichever. I don't have a preference other than Sundays. I'd like Sundays off. But other than that, you know, have at it. But you gotta pick one. You just gotta pick one. Now, I'm just thinking that I want a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to take my bigger pen. I'm going to pick a side, and I'm just going to make some lines thicker on one side, which will make my drawing look like it's got some dimension. Like that. I just picked my right side. So on the right hand side, for me, as I'm looking at this, on the right hand side of each of my shapes, I'm just going to thicken up the line just on the right side. That will just give it a little something that it doesn't already have. Oops, got a little wide there. It's all right, I'll fill it in. No biggie. Something like that. And then on these ones, something like that. And then the right sides, like that and like this. This one's oriented differently than the other ones. See how that gave it just a little bit of dimension that it didn't have before? It's a subtle thing. But I think it's really cool. I think I want a little bit darker color in the background here, but I don't want it like super dark. Oh, fudge. Oh, I've put my colored pencils in the house. I was coloring in the house. I don't have them out here. What to do? You know what? I can use my gray. Let me do that. I use a gray Faber Castell part of this set. Can you see that? Sorry, the light. Shades of Gray 6 Pitt pens. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go around the outside of all these shapes here. You almost can't see that. But it gives it just enough, I think. So as it dries, it will end up just being the gray color. Right now you're mostly seeing the wet of the blue paper. But I think as it dries, it will just tone down that background just a little bit. So it'll give me that little teensiest bit of contrast that I want without overwhelming it. I think that'll be fine. We'll see how that goes. There's the cutting I expected here. I've got my windows open because it's a beautiful day outside. It's in the mid-70s. Husband went for a bike ride this morning, and then when he got home, we both went into the spa. And I left my suit on so that later this afternoon I can just, if I'm in the middle of drawing and I feel like just jumping in the spa to cool off, refresh myself for a minute between videos, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, there's a little critter. Oh, a little critter. You should be outside. Didn't kill the little critter, I just pushed him out of my way. The only ones that have to die are the mosquitoes. They are not allowed to live. If I see a mosquito in my art room, it goes. Sorry for those of you who are mega ultra vegan folk. I apologize, but no, those mosquitoes gotta go. Other annoying critters that come into our yard, like possums, we trap them and we just move them out of our neighborhood. Take them up to the foresty area that's not too far away, about 10 minutes, 15-minute drive. Maybe closer to a half hour. Anyway, we relocate the critters. Feral cats don't bother me. Can't leave them alone. And I know people are going to say that the possums are good for our environment and they eat fleas and things, and they do. I totally get that, but I don't want them living in my yard. But now that we've done all of our construction, we've pretty much removed from our yard attractive housing that the possums were using in piles of rubble and behind old rotten down fencing and stuff that we had laying around. Yeah, that was just an invitation to critters to make a home. And now that we've cleaned all that up on the side of our house, pretty much don't have a problem with it anymore anyways. Alright, see how that gray just makes these things just kind of pop off? And then if I don't put gray here, then this whole medallion thing looks like it's solid. If I put gray there, then that would look like it's a filigree. And I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm going to filigree that. Put gray there and there. You guys have any art YouTubers you follow? I'm looking for watching new content. I watch a lot of YouTube. You guys know that. I'm currently watching Doodle Date. I'm currently watching Casey. I'm drawing with waffles, drawing with waffles. I'm watching, oh, I said Casey Golden. Now I remember her last name. I'm watching, I'm going to put the white highlights now. I'm watching, what did I say, Doodle Date? Draw with Jazza. Oh, I left my pencil sharpener outside too. Oh. Okay, I gotta go get my pencils. I'm watching, who else am I watching regularly? Oh, Chloe Rose. Don't forget Chloe Rose. And Mira Byler. I watch Jackie on Nerdy Crafter. I sometimes watch Mariah Elizabeth with her squishy makeovers. It's not something I would normally do or be interested in, but you know, you never know when my nieces' kids will decide that they need a squishy to be fixed, and I will know exactly how to do it. Besides that, I kind of like her spunky, funny content. She's cool. I like her editing style. And then in the art journal world, I like watching Cindy Utter. I watch Karen Burchill. I watch Cat Hand. I watch oh gosh, how did her name has escaped me all of a sudden. She's got a big channel, fairly big channel anyway. She has her own rubber stamp line. She does a lot of Etsy store stuff. What the heck? I'm friends with her on Facebook. You know, Cindy Utter's friend. Oh, why is that name just gone? Oh, I hate when that happens to my brain. It's not that I don't know who she is. I just can't think of her name. That's annoying. Okay, I'm going to have to stop and think about it. It'll come to me. Who else? And then in the painting world, of course, there's Cinnamon and her mother Ginger and Angela Anderson. And Painting with Jane. But I just wondered if there was anybody else that on those lists that I haven't seen yet and that would be fun to watch. Oh, there's also Bob Burridge, and of course there's always the ability to watch an old Bob Ross video. That's always good. But I'm trying to think. Gina Ahrens. Gina Ahrens is the one that I couldn't think of. She has some cool art product out there. Stencils and stamps and things. Oh, I like how that came out. That's pretty. Very soft. I like that. Okay, let's sign this. Let's put the name to it. That is not what I wanted to do. I don't need to phone a friend. I just need to turn it on. Silly thing. Okay, T-R-O-P-S. I'll figure out which direction I want this to live. I think I want it to live. It feels comfortable that way. So I'm gonna sign it that way. All right. So that's that one. I hope this camera angle is good. I'm going to kind of stop and watch some of these things. Oops. I do find that it's a little wiggly. So if I touch the camera, it wiggles a little bit. I'm going to try not to touch the camera too often, but you never know. But there we go. I will see you on the next video. Next one I'm going to do is Loop Wave. And then I've decided for next week, I'm going to do Libella, Duns, and Muppety. I'm very much looking forward to Muppety. And then I thought we were going to take a break, because those are the last ones that Nicole chose. But Ina has gone ahead and continued on with daily patterns. So we don't have a break to do. I have had a personal request for me to try to do Eclipse on video, so I will do that upcoming soon, I think. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I will see you guys next time. Go out and do something nice for someone today, and let's make the world a better place. And I will see you in a few minutes while I take myself a little break. Bye.